crypto. We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. So, yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. New intro next week. Excited about that. Guys, we had extreme technical difficulties. We didn't even think we were gonna be able to do the show. Now we told you yesterday we weren't even doing the show today.
Yeah.
So you're lucky you're even getting a show today. Remember that. But anyway, we had some stuff changed, so we're here for today for the live stream like normal. Tomorrow I'll be doing a mobile live stream from California, and tomorrow night we've got our big LA meetup in Santa Monica. But we had some we really had some big technical problems. I think somebody was here. Who was here recently? And they're like, "Oh, this is what it takes." Johnny.
Johnny was saying that.
Yeah, our new research guy. He came in and he was like, "I didn't understand. Like when you would be late, I thought it's just you and TJ, and it's very simple. We've got a very massive setup back here, like a real studio. And you know what? Sometimes the Wi-Fi doesn't want to communicate. Sometimes the cameras get off, the audio input gets off. It's a lot of moving parts. So always sorry when we're late. We definitely don't mean to be. I've been trying to be more punctual lately, if you guys have noticed.
We were ready when I went to hit the button to start everything today. Basically, the Stream Deck, which is all sorts of different commands that let us switch all this stuff around. Tons of little mini commands just didn't work. And we tried a bunch of different things. It still
started
wasn't
like 7
working.
times.
Yeah.
One time it worked.
Finally, it worked. So here we are.
So come to you live every day. Not at 11:50, usually at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got, the craziest story I've seen in crypto since the Quadriga CX stuff. People are going to have a field day with this. I cannot wait to talk about this. Maybe some of you guys have seen some of the stuff going on TikTok or crypto Twitter surrounding the Bitfinex hackers. I'm going to tell you what a lot of people aren't saying about this. Here in a little bit, going to give you an interesting perspective on what I think is going on and why I believe that. But, you think hackers, it's not really clear, though, in my opinion. Like, they got caught laundering the money, but I don't know if there's evidence that they were actually the ones that did the hack. Have you seen that?
Yeah, they're acting like this, the DOJ, because they recovered the seed phrase. But I think that's probably the most confusing part to most people. If they're sophisticated hackers and they kept their seed phrase on iCloud, like that doesn't add up. And they weren't seeming to run the money the way most typical hackers would.
Yeah.
Like they weren't trying to hide their trace or the trace of the money, the path.
Like I said, have I seen the YG music video? The new one? I haven't seen it, but I've heard the new YG song. And it's freaking lit. I'm going to listen to it nonstop. So if you guys really like that, you should check it out. Have you heard that one?
Mm-mm.
It's my jam right now.
Nice.
I'll tell you. Why are you going to come to the club with all this money if you're not going to throw it? You know what I mean? So, guys, like I said, we've got a lot going on today. But before we get into the show, I definitely have, this is kind of phase one of a string of announcements and things we're doing on the channel here in the next, few weeks and months. Basically, the first half of this year, the channel is going to be transformed. So, as you guys know, we, on our socials and on our YouTube channel, since the beginning of this channel, we have done sponsored content. We've done sponsored content on this channel. We've worked with a lot of great companies. We've worked with a lot of great, crypto projects. Cartesi one, still love Cartesi, absolutely love it. Many other projects along the ways, there were a lot of great money-making opportunities. Some turned out to be bad, just like in any area of crypto. We would do, we didn't do a lot of sponsor stuff on Twitter, but, maybe some stuff on Instagram here or there. But, I want you guys to understand, I personally do not believe there is anything wrong with sponsored content as long as it is disclosed. If it is not disclosed, that's why when we looked at that @NFT story from Instagram the other day, that's what I said. If they are in fact guilty of doing advertisements without disclosing, then that is an issue. If you disclose, then you're giving the information to the audience that they need to know that this is coming from a place of a sponsored or, you have to be biased on some level when you're doing something sponsored. Like I think it's kind of impossible not to some extent. But the point is, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There are plenty of YouTubers out there that do it. And I wish them all the best on building their channels that way. From this point forward, on this channel, on BitBoy Crypto channel, on the BitBoy Crypto, all of our socials, we are never doing sponsored content again. So we have just decided, I know yesterday we talked a lot about this channel growing up a little bit, the investors, the audience growing up along with us. And we feel like this is just the next phase in the evolution of BitBoy Crypto. So, like I said, some of you guys really like some of those videos. We introduced you to, a lot of great things. From this point forward, only things that I personally feel like are extremely valuable are going on this channel. No outside influence. We're going to be totally unbiased. And so from here on out, it is definitely going to be, the emphasis is on the BitSquad making money, learning how to research, learning how to do things for yourself. And we're going to be creating, some philosophies that we have about investing. We're going to talk to you guys about, and we want you guys to basically have a template for, A to Z. How do you get in crypto and how do you make money? How do you invest? How do you choose projects? How do you do research? So, from now on, that's what we're doing. So, we will not be doing any more anywhere. We're very committed to this. Hard stop on it. And, like I said, it's okay if other people do it. There's a lot of people out there that judge other people for trying to grow a business. But, think about this. You don't like commercials either. See the Matt Damon thing? That's what makes the world go round, though, is money and advertisements and sponsorships, across YouTube and things like that. So, we could have limited this to like only tokens, or, we're not going to do coin reviews, but maybe we'll do this and that. We're just across the board. So not even, like the sponsor content you see on bigger channels, like what's the one we worked with? The one where they do classes. What was that?
The one where they do classes.
Yeah, like classes.
Oh, was it?
No, it wasn't Udemy.
I know what you're talking
It was
about.
a different
Skillshare.
Skillshare. Yeah, like Skillshare, friends. Nothing wrong with Skillshare.
No.
But we just want this channel from this point forward to be as pure as possible, and everything comes from me.
Right.
So that's the direction, and glad that see some people in here that are good. And I got tired of doing it too. I mean, honestly, we don't need it, and I got tired of doing it, and I think this point forward, you're going to see like some refreshment coming to the channel. So that was a big announcement I wanted to make. We do have a part 2 to this coming later. Maybe next few weeks, next month, next 2 months, sometime. But gonna be some really, really big stuff. So really excited about that. So all right, let's go ahead and move on here. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, 807K here. But the big thing is we got our meetup tomorrow night. If you're in California, you're coming to the meetup, make sure to click this and sign up for the meetup. It's free. We never charge anything for the meetup. It's just for the community to get out there and talk to folks and hang out. So excited to do that. DZ, J Chains, Frank's going or no? Frank is not going.
Frank is not going.
Aaron is going. Yeah. And then Holly and one other person. Me.
I think you.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So TJ's actually sitting this one out. He's going to be going to a snowboarding trip.
Yeah, I'm going to Colorado. Just missed it the last couple of years and had to make this one happen, or otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it done and wouldn't have forgiven myself. So,
Well, Steve Garbett going to go snowboard with you?
yeah, potentially. I'm going to try to text him. He might come out on Saturday and ride with us, so that'd be fun. We're going to Winter Park in Colorado. So.
Oh, nice. Cameron Mitchell says, if you see this, say, let's go Rams. Let's go Rams. I'm pulling for the Rams. Look, I like Joe Burrow. I think he's going to win a Super Bowl. He's definitely a superstar. Josh Allen also is in that same mold. He'll win a Super Bowl too. But I believe that we will see Matt Stafford get his, Georgia Bulldog get his ring here. So really good. Somebody says no sponsored, but ads in the lower left corner. Well, those are affiliate deals, but yeah, I mean, I think we'll take those down too. Probably.
Yeah, we've got a lot of big changes, like he was alluding to, that you're going to see get rolled out through the year. Probably big things each quarter. Something like he alluded to, something else coming in the next month or so.
Something massive.
Big.
Nobody's ever done this before.
Yeah. And you'll see things like that. Like the main thing we're going to be drilling in on is BitLab Academy. That's where we're going to be sending the BitSquad to help each other work together, implement some of these strategies, and help you guys get to where you work on what you want to and when you want to, and you don't have to. And that's a very freeing way to live life, and that's what we want you guys to experience too. So
Absolutely.
most of that will be going into the academy. Those bottom right hand, those are some affiliate ads, like you mentioned. We'll clean those up.
Yeah. So look, we still have affiliate links if people want to go to the website, but we're just not going to talk about them a lot. I mean, there may be sometimes it makes sense, like crypto.com, for instance, to show you the Visa debit card. You get $25 off if you get it. So that's a deal for you.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Most of these are actually discounts for you guys. They don't really, it's just you get a discount if you use it.
Yeah.
If you don't, no harm, no foul.
And Jackson says, can we get some Pluto Alliance Alpha here? Just wait.
Just
wait.
You wait.
Just wait. That's all I got to say. Just wait. Okay. So where are we at here? Crypto. Let's see what's going on with crypto. I don't think those are accurate numbers. Let's check. $2.12 trillion raise. 2.6% up on the market cap. Remember,
wow, that's interesting.
There's still people out there that say crypto's a scam. Remember that. Oh, that's nice. That's not right. That's not right. That can't be right.
This?
No, this. Look at that.
Huh. No.
That's not right. Where's the coin market cap?
That's quite the jump.
Well, I wonder what coin market cap is showing. They're showing 2.024 trillion. So pretty much in line with CoinGecko's. CoinGecko's is always going to be a little more because they have more coins. And the 24-hour volume here is 83 billion. I don't know. I mean, CoinGecko's got to be broken or something here. Oh, there might be.
Or they're showing some volume on a wash traded, BS token that CoinMarketCap filters out. Like if it's false volume on a project that CoinMarketCap doesn't count.
Yeah. That probably is a situation. Actually, I would probably lean more towards glitch, I would think. Let's see if it's.
I mean, that's a big
see, it's Bitcoin, though. So I think it's probably a glitch because it's the Bitcoin volume that's driving that.
Huh.
If you look here, 354 billion, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's
got to be a glitch.
API.
Let's click on Bitcoin and see if we can see anything weird about it here. Doesn't have anywhere. So here's the volume. Binance 1.71 billion. I mean, that's not that weird. Where is the volume coming? Where is the weird number coming from?
It's probably some kind
I wonder if I can sort it by.
It doesn't really matter. Let's get into the big stories of the day.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in this. I like to look at this stuff because I like to know, if you can find where the glitch is, that's good.
Yeah. No, I got you.
But yeah. So, anyways, point is, come back here. We'll check this out. We have XRP up 9% over the last 24 hours. It is up to 89 cents. Good deal. Help somebody buy XRP last night. I realized that XRP is no longer on Voyager. I sent someone to Voyager to buy it, and then they put money on there. And long story short, I ended up, sending them the XRP that I found an account I didn't know I had. And then, they were able to buy Bitcoin and send it back, but they delisted XRP there. I think I remember somebody saying something about that. It's like they had it for a while. They're like, did it just randomly, like in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
If you guys know, where do you guys buy XRP? I want to know in the comments because Uphold, some problems with account verification sometimes there. So if it's not Voyager, KuCoin's slightly sketch. I mean, it's not sketch, but they're definitely on the lines of regulation. So you probably can't buy XRP with dollars there if you're American. I'm not sure. So ByBit, people saying ByBit, yeah, less than two Bitcoin.
Gate is another one a lot of people use.
Gate.io, okay. Gate.io, that's a decentralized, I believe. Revolut, we don't support Revolut.
FTX apparently lists it.
Yeah, but not FTX US. I looked.
Got it.
So I swap on Exodus. Yeah, I think there's probably some creative ways to do some swaps with it. Celsius, that might be interesting. Celsius. Okay, cool. It looks like I'm seeing some interest. Femex, that could be a good one as well. I would like some that they don't have to use VPNs for, anything like that. Flow, 15.6% gain. Waves, 15%. Cardano, charging back towards $10. Quant, Shiba, continuing with a resurgence here. 54.8% for the week now. Let's look at the biggest movers of the week.
On that Cardano note.
Gala, 76%. Go ahead.
Taco here was telling me apparently JP Morgan is big in Cardano. They got a lot behind it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what we did a whole video. We talked about that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why Cardano's going to succeed.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled in the short term by what's going on there. So, okay. Leo token up 62%. We're going to get into that.
That's so fascinating.
My gosh, I can't. I mean, Lord help us. Frank, you want to come on and talk charts here for just a minute? Kind of brief here. I need to resize this. I'll just resize the window. Can I see this screen? So I can resize?
Yes. You want to resize it for?
Yeah, that's
There
for
you go.
Frank right there, right?
There you go.
Okay. All right, there you go, Frankie. Take it over. Frank's killing it.
What is going on, guys? Hope you're having a good day. Speaking of Leo, real quick, I'll actually just look at that super fast because I did want to point out. I think, like I said, when Ben mentioned that 4-hour, 15-minute strategy, I do believe that played out perfectly here on this 4-hour VWAP crossover. I believe this one, and then if you come over to the 15-minute, look at that, right on the money flow crossover. So if you do know about that strategy, it would have played out perfectly here. You would have gone in down here and rode it all the way up. So I just wanted to cover that real quick because we had mentioned that recently. But coming over to Bitcoin, as we spoke about, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we have the weekly VWAP coming over, crossing the 0 line and printing a green dot, which I do think can eventually bring us up to about 48 or 50K. Which would be, very exciting. This is a very bullish signal. Coming on over to the 4-hour to zoom in a little bit, right? We cracked this $42,000 resistance, came all the way up and tested this key resistance level at 45K, which we also pointed out some key levels of resistance. This would have been a great place to put in a scalp short. You would have got a pretty good gain there. Now, I do think we might have, right, we ripped. Now we're having a little bit of a correction. I do think that we can see a little more downside, and I'll show you why. If you come on up to the longer time frames, such as the daily, you can see the daily VWAP is coming down. I'm not too worried because we do have money flow, nice curvature on the money flow from the red coming up to cross over into the green. But I do think this daily VWAP can bring us down just a little bit more, coming back down to the 4-hour. I think worst case scenario, maybe we come down to this 42K level. Maybe we wick down a little bit below it. But as you can see, it was very strong resistance right here. We got reactions down here. It acted as support, resistance, and if the further you come back, you can see that it's a very strong level. So I do think that if we do come down there, there is a very likely chance that we hold it, and in which case I would be looking for a mean long off of that level. And then Gala, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last time I was on this stream, but we were
Can I ask you a question real quick before you get into Gala? I know you're very heavy TA. Do you look at the macro? Like, I know there's going to be tons of ads in the Super Bowl this weekend for crypto. Do you think that could have any play in some of the price action leading into this weekend?
Yeah, I do. I know a lot of people are talking about how they think it's going to have a big effect because, like, I was talking about this on my stream last night. We haven't really seen crypto ads in the Super Bowl yet. So we don't really know how it's going to act, but a lot of people are going to see it. I think it could get a lot of people, who have been hearing about crypto. They feel like they might be missing out. They see the commercial. That might be the thing that clicks in their head. It's like, wow, it's on TV. Like they have Super Bowl commercials. This is legit. Maybe I download, an exchange, crypto.com, whatever the commercials are, and that's how they get in for the first time. I would assume they'll probably wind up buying Doge because for whatever reason, the beginners like to buy Doge. But hey, if it gets them in, that's all we care about.
Right.
Good Doji.
Good Doji.
All right, Frank. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. We're late today, so we've got to move on pretty quick. You guys make sure to go subscribe to Frank's channel.
Yes.
Frankie Candles.
Yes. Frankie Candles, guys. See you next time.
Yeah, I was
the only word I've ever called Frank that doesn't start with an F.
Yeah.
In my phone, he saved as Frankie Fruits.
Yeah. Frankie Footlong.
Frankie Footlong. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Frankie
just
Fingers.
any word with an F fits well, but
It
Candles
does.
is pretty good too.
It does.
So.
Frankie Fibonacci. I like that one.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? I was thinking about that last night. Like everybody knows there's going to be tons of crypto ads in the Super Bowl. So is this
Everybody knows?
well, everybody
We all
that's
know.
in,
That's our echo
everybody
chamber.
that's in crypto all the time. We've been talking about it. So this could be kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. Like it's going to pump leading up to this, similar to like Elon
I don't
Musk
know if it is.
with
I don't know if it is going to pump leading up to. I don't know if that. I don't
or
think people are thinking that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think people are thinking, oh, there's gonna be Super Bowl ads, so crypto's gonna go up. Like I wouldn't even thought of that.
No, I
You
mean
know?
more like, you know how Elon Musk going on SNL talking about Doge, they were hoping it would pump and then it dumped after.
Yeah,
That's
but
more what
that
I
was
was.
that was different because this whole game is market manipulation with Dogecoin. So the Super Bowl, I think what I believe the narrative we're going to get from these ads is that crypto is a long-term game and it's legit. You know, not like some kind of not hype. It's not going to be hype. Like Binance has actually got an ad that's running now, not during the Super Bowl, but around the Super Bowl. That's going to be like, hey, you know, don't buy into stuff just because celebrities say. You know, a little hesitancy on crypto even, which is a shot at crypto.com. But you know, I just don't think, you know, the weekends are really unpredictable. We certainly could see, you know, we certainly could see it go up, but I certainly don't think it's a buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't think any pump that we've been seeing from Bitcoin over the last few days is because of the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's just my personal feeling on it.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's why I was curious to think. I started thinking about that last night. I hadn't thought that either. And then I was like, well, maybe they're just riding this hype. And then, you know, we go right back to bearish heading into March.
football is in decline. Less people, especially young people, don't care about it. I don't think the numbers reflect that. Now, less people are playing football for sure, but watching football, the numbers go up every year. So it has a stranglehold on TV in America.
Well,
so,
especially the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So Super Bowl, you shouldn't read too much into record-breaking Super Bowl numbers because that's almost always going to have to do with the teams. So Cincinnati and LA numbers will probably be down this year. If it was Kansas City and Tampa, it probably would have been biggest Super Bowl ever. You know, Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes Part 2, something like that. Or if it was Packers, Chiefs, or you know, Patriots, and you know, trying to think of another team over there. I mean, really just the Packers and the Buccaneers right now really draw. Seahawks, they definitely draw big numbers. So, anyways, that's what I think about that. ETH chart, by the way, you know, just looking at, we're going to look more at ETH here in just a minute with a possible recovery, but looking pretty good. I mean, it's definitely on an uptrend. I think there's a lot of similarities to what we were seeing back, you know, in October as we started running up. You know, I mean, you look here at these first two, you know, moves up and dips. You know, we got two of those. We're continuing up. You know, this kind of rounded motion right here. Let me zoom in a little bit here. How good was blockchain backer yesterday?
Yeah, that was great.
Man, that guy blew me away. Like you kind of see, then it goes here after you get these two kind of corrections. You know, here we got, you know, 1, 2, and then now maybe we're getting the curve. It could possibly happen. Super Bowl XXXV.com bowl.
Okay.
35. Yes, that was the .com bowl. So that was 32, or that was Panthers and Patriots, I believe. I think that was the Janet Jackson Super Bowl, I believe. So yeah, I don't think people are going to look back at this as the crypto bowl. I think we're going to. I don't feel like your average person is going to care. You know,
The other
what
thing,
do you think?
I mean, maybe not. I feel like nobody really looks back. I mean, people look back at that Super Bowl as the .com bowl, like writers, tech writers.
Yeah.
But if you'd asked me, I wouldn't have, you know, because I was a kid at the time, I wasn't thinking like that. So I did think about that article and how it was the one you read the other day about how it was so ridiculous to have crypto ads in the Super Bowl. And it was interesting, all the comparisons they were making to the internet, that basically what the article was saying is crypto's as big as the internet. You know, and it might collapse. Some of these projects might hit. Well, of course it is. But they were saying it like, oh, you know, the internet. And they had all these ads that came out in the .com bowl. And they, you know, a lot of these projects aren't around anymore. And it's like, and then they're comparing crypto to the same thing. But then if you go to look and see what the internet did after that, it's like, oh, clearly that was the biggest thing at the time.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Basically, same thing with crypto is it's kind of its foray into the mainstream. And yeah, maybe not every project that advertises will succeed, but it will be the biggest thing for this generation for the next decade.
I think if tokens were advertising, it would be different.
It would be way different.
We're looking at the infrastructure for crypto, the business of crypto here that are advertising.
Yep.
Crypto.com, FTX,
Finance.
Coinbase probably, right? This is the infrastructure. Do you know what ad I remember from 2002? And maybe I'm dreaming this in my brain. Like maybe this actually didn't happen. So, you know, you guys can go look it up. But in my brain, what I remember is I remember the GoDaddy ad with a girl wearing only a towel, and I think she drops the towel or something. Maybe they blurred it out, or maybe like something's in the way. Do you remember that?
Yeah, beginning of GoDaddy.
That was the beginning of GoDaddy.
Big advertiser.
That's similar to what we're seeing now with the infrastructure. GoDaddy is similar to crypto.com, like to the internet. It's where, now granted, there are tons of services like it, but it's the biggest. Where you get your domain names that basically allows people to populate the internet. So, you know, we're looking at infrastructure here. Definitely, you know, some interesting stuff. Let's move on here. Talk about Russia. Now, I may have to be rushing through this story as we're running out of time. Russian government and central bank agree to treat Bitcoin as currency. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys believe that this is a big deal? Do you guys believe that Russia now saying the government and the central bank agree Bitcoin as currency, is that a big deal? Do you care about this story? Do you think this will be bullish for Bitcoin? Very interesting to get your thoughts on this. Crypto, what's that? Did you say something?
No.
Oh, I heard you in my brain. Cryptocurrency transactions of more than 6,000 rubles will have to be declared. That's about $8,000. Otherwise, it could be considered criminal act. So if you're doing large transactions and you're keeping it off the books, you can get in trouble for that. In Russia, the government and central bank in Russia have reached an agreement on how to regulate crypto, according to a Tuesday announcement. They're working to draft a law that will define crypto as an analog of currencies rather than digital financial assets. That is interesting. They would function in the legal industry only if they have complete identification through the banking system. Must be done through a digital currency exchange or organizer. So you can already see they're trying to force people in Russia also to run stuff through their bank. Of course. Comes after months of speculation about the Russian government. And I got to say, I feel like when you're looking at a lot of the stories right now and you're seeing the reversal, a few weeks ago, things were really bearish. Russia saying we're going to ban crypto. A guy in the government, one of their lead financial officials, only a matter of weeks later, all of a sudden things are bullish. We're talking about Bitcoin as legal tender in Russia. It just feels like when you look at what's going on in the United States as well, I think somebody made a comment. I can't remember what it said, but there was a comment over here that also reminded me of, it seems like there's like a world reversal going on right now, and they're getting ready for another round of money printing, or they're not going to raise the rate. I think we're going to see something very interesting in the next couple weeks, or the next couple months as we move into March. Things are just aligning kind of strange right now. If you look back at China, right? Look, who else is accepting crypto now? Legal tender, or is allowing it? India as well.
Another big. A lot of users.
They're going to be the number one most populated country in the world in the next 5 years, I believe.
Wow.
More than China.
Well,
they're going to crush China. In like 50 years, everybody will live in India, basically.
I thought it was interesting yesterday that basically the two, other than China, maybe the two major superpowers, US and Russia, both have a major story about Bitcoin and crypto breaking on the same day. One where US now controls extremely large amounts of Bitcoin, and one where Russia says we're going to accept it. It's pretty interesting that those major stories that have been in the works for years both break on the same day. It's kind of strange. Also coming off the back of the Tesla earnings showing they're holding Bitcoin. Like it's a lot of bullish stuff coming out all at once.
It really is. It feels like they're moving to do something quite interesting here pretty soon. So let's talk about this. Let's move on and talk about USA $4 billion worth of Bitcoin.
What a story.
This is nuts, guys.
If you ever get bored in crypto, stories like this will wake you up.
Man. So, like you see talks about hacks and things like that. Mt. Gox hack was the largest hack of all time. I think it's $9 billion. But you got to remember, it wasn't worth $9 billion when it happened. I believe, if I'm correct, I think it was only like $400 million at the time when the hack occurred. but that now is worth like $9 billion. And maybe it was smaller than that. I don't know how the numbers work out. But what I would tell you is the important part of the story in my mind is the amount of Bitcoin. It's not the number. It's not how much money is in it now. Because you look at a story a couple of days ago, it's 3.6 billion. Now you look, it's 4.2 billion or whatever the case is. And like Rand really kind of hit it here. Rand Nooner, you guys know him from Crypto Banner. He says the Bitfinex hack was the best trade ever made. 119,000 Bitcoin was stolen in 2017. Value, $76 million. Bitfinex repaid the victims, the USD equivalent, over time through a recovery token. Bitfinex now gets 3.6 billion 5.5 years later. Borrow 76 million, repay it slowly, get 3.6 billion 5.5 years. Now, we're going to get a little more into the conspiracy side of this when we move on to the next part is we talk about the hackers and are they capable? Like, are these really the people that did it? And, my suspicion has been this was an inside job from Bitfinex. And now, seeing Rand's tweet, man, that really drives that home. That gives you the incentive and motivation right there. We do know Bitfinex is the sketchiest company in crypto, has always been since its beginning. But now you have the United States with all this Bitcoin, but they're supposed to give the money back to Bitfinex. But Bitfinex is engulfed in a lawsuit with New York. Is that finished completely?
I'm not sure.
Let me see. Let me see what the latest on that is. I think it was they had a CFTC one going on, and they also had a lawsuit from the New York Southern District. Let's see, that's October 15th. So here it looks like the CFTC thing was over. That's on October 15th, 2021. They paid $1.5 million for illegal transactions. Then the timing of all this is really interesting too. It comes after they settled with the SEC. Because what better way to keep your money out of touch than make it look like it was hacked? Now let's see what the New York Southern District, is that what it's called? Let's see, ends virtual trading, Bitfinex to produce documents, 2019. New York bans Tether. That was a year ago over false statements. The point here is there just seems to be a never-ending battle between Bitfinex and government officials here in the United States. So now we have the United States with $4 billion worth of Bitcoin. And now we don't know, we talked about this before, we don't know for transparency's sake how much Bitcoin the U.S. holds. I've been told China holds 4 times more Bitcoin than the U.S. does as a government. But I don't have those numbers. I don't know how much they actually own. Russia, we know they own a lot as well. But we don't know what these numbers look like. We have no idea. We now know U.S. got $4 billion on the books. But are they going to give this money back to an exchange that they've been pursuing forever, that they know is a scourge to crypto, and that they know are scammers, and that they know are doing things, with shell companies? And, now this is not the first time that Bitfinex has supposedly, been hacked under very mysterious circumstances. If you go back, hacked isn't the right word, maybe lost money. You go back to what happened with Tether in the early days. They actually had given, I think it was when Tether was around, I think it was only, there was 60 million. It wasn't that much, I don't think, but it was still like a large amount, in regards to money. I think it was $60 million. Maybe it was $500 million. It was definitely less than $1 billion though, where they gave it all to what was supposed to be an accounting firm that was offshore in the Caribbean. All their money. They give them all their money. And the place stole it. They just stole it. Fly by night. So you give, millions and mega millions of dollars to some random company offshore in the Caribbean when you're operating out of, I don't know where they operate out. I think they operate out of Asia somewhere, but it's a little sketch, right? So we've seen this before, and that's kind of where all the questions about where Tether's money actually is started with that. So now, U.S. has $4 billion worth of Bitcoin. Bitfinex, we know, are scammers. What's going to happen? Do you think the U.S. is going to give them this money back?
I don't know. That's the big question. Like everybody's seeing Leo pumping. That's the exchange token for Bitfinex, because assuming they do get this money back, I assume Leo would be the way they pay back the people that lost. Because basically,
They've already paid the people back, though.
Well,
they've already paid the people back. That's what Rand was saying. They've already paid the people back over time that got hacked with a token. I don't know if it was the Leo token specifically. I think it was a token they created just to do that for.
It was, yeah.
It's
something else. It was called,
because Leo was just created like 2 years ago,
right,
or maybe 3. But the point is that they've already paid them back. So Bitfinex is just going to add all that money to their own books now.
It's weird.
These are very intriguing questions. And somebody said money laundering, not hacked. Yeah, well, that we're going to get into that. I mean, I guess we can go ahead and move into that now as we move on to this side of things.
Did you see that thread? The one I saw, a really good thread on Twitter from Jack Nywald.
Yeah.
Do you have that up?
No. What is his name?
Jack Niewold. Nywald.
Oh, Nywald. Yeah. Looks like a nice guy.
And he breaks it down point by point. A lot of it you already talked through, but mostly the following of the money. Like,
this talked about that. Factually wrong. Leo came out much later.
Yeah, that's where because people were watching this Bitcoin the entire time. There really wasn't a confusion on where the Bitcoin was. And that's what makes it so interesting, that these people that had the private keys, they were trying to launder it through $500 gift cards, like Walmart gift cards and stuff. So they had billions of dollars and they were trying to launder it hundreds of dollars at the time.
Casino, best place to do it. I've watched Ozark.
Yeah. It just doesn't really, a lot of the things in this story don't really make sense. So I don't know if you wanted to kind of pick the high points of that or just skim through it, but it's
very interesting. I do not believe, kind of like the Quadriga CX story, I do not believe that this will be the last time we talk about this. I think we will continue to find out more and more and more about this. So I'll have to read this in detail, but I think what we're seeing here is all of this information that he's saying, it fits with my theory on all of this.
Yeah.
In that it was an inside job.
They're set up.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like my car was stolen from the airport. Well, you guys know this, right? The Hellcat, before I got the Demon, it was at the Atlanta airport. Me and my family flew out. We came back in. No car. Gone. Stolen from the airport. I never thought a car could get stolen from the airport, right? Because all the different mechanisms they have set up to make it safe there. You have to show an ID if you don't have a ticket to get out of the airport. But, what I didn't realize, and you find out later, is they have to show an ID, but they don't scan it. It's fake. You can just bring a fake license and you can show it and get out. And, the interesting thing about that is it's extremely obvious it was an inside job. Extremely obvious that someone at the airport is involved in that. A Rolls Royce from Janoris Jenkins, I think he plays for the Saints. I think he's a Georgia Bulldog. He actually went to, his was stolen a couple weeks later from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
High dollar cars. Mine was like $90,000 car. His, probably $300,000 or more. So over the airport. Inside jobs. It's obvious when it's an inside job. Only someone that works there would know the intimate details of what you would have to do when it appears that they've got all this stuff in order, but the loopholes, right? It's obvious. When you look at this story and you look at the people involved and you look at what Rand said about how much money Bitfinex has made from this and you understand their sketchy past, I think it's very obvious.
Well,
I think it's very obvious. Now, that doesn't mean that it was someone, that does not necessarily mean that the company itself was in coordination, which is a possibility, but there could have been a rogue person as well.
Yeah. It definitely seems the people that the DOJ took into custody that were the hackers that were holding the Bitcoin do not seem like the people that actually did
where's she at? Where's she at? And I mean, there you go. This is all you need to know.
Do you have the one with, there's one with her foot in her mouth where she's like eating her foot.
I don't have that one. I like this one. Now, here's the music video. She's a rapper.
Yeah.
Crocodile of Wall Street.
I'm not sure.
I got on mute. Oh, the headphones.
I hear nothing.
Why is it so low? Hacker. She said hacker.
Just so you know, I have your mic turned way up. Oh,
yeah, it's getting a little non-family friendly here. This is insane. That this is the person. This is the person. And I'm still a little confused on. I do want to dig into that tweet thread because they were laundering the money. They got caught laundering the money. But does anyone believe these are actually the people? Let me pull up a different. Let's see. Bitfinex hackers. Now this girl was on Twitter. She had 20,000 Twitter followers.
You know, this reminds me a lot of the pipeline hack
Mm-hmm.
recovery, where it's like, oh, this big pipeline got hacked and the hackers used Bitcoin, and oh, hey, guess what? The U.S. government, we got it back. It's very similar to that because nobody sophisticated enough to pull off that hack would A, not mix the money, B, not distribute it the way most hackers do, C, leave the seed phrase on iCloud. Like, it's just, the whole thing smells like something the government would cook up.
Yeah. Apologize for the language in the song.
Yeah.
When thinking about that. It was so crazy. Like, my kid was in the room while I was watching it yesterday. And I was so just like absorbed with what it was. I didn't even notice. I was just like, these are the people. So here's a picture of Ilya. What's his name? Ilya. Well, it's up at the top. Yes. Ilya Lichtenstein. I thought it was Lichtenstein. And Heather Morgan, 31 and 34 years old, respectively. She's a self-proclaimed CEO of some company. They were involved in venture capital stuff. They were on Twitter. She had a TikTok. No one believes this. No one believes that these are the hackers. Now, they were the money launderers. Could it be that in exchange for their money laundering services and the $500 Walmart gift cards and all that, that they were, granted a certain kind of lifestyle? I mean, definitely. I think that's a possibility. But I'll tell you what, like you said, the Colonial Pipeline hack, there was stuff that does not make sense about that, right? Colonial Pipeline hack, they hacked the hackers' wallets. They were able to get their Bitcoin back from the hackers.
Were they?
It doesn't make sense, guys. That's literally not possible. Literally not possible. So we didn't get the whole story. Here, they hacked the seed phrases. It doesn't really work that way. You can't hack a seed phrase. There are certain ways it can be done with different devices, like with a backdoor. There one time was, I think, a backdoor into Trezor. But that's not what's going on. I think these were on a ledger, actually.
Yeah, they got the seed phrase on their iCloud. They had it when they went in. They had it stored on a hard drive right there in the apartment. They just accessed his computer, pulled it down. Like, they had a cloud backup of a seed phrase for a Bitcoin wallet with billions of dollars in it.
That
please,
if anyone gets access to that, you are going to prison.
Yeah,
you just have it backed up on iCloud.
Yeah, and
great hackers.
That's what I say. That's what hackers do. They put their passwords on the cloud. Please.
Yeah, JB says they made mistakes, unlike hackers.
Right.
Correct. These are, look, I talked about yesterday on Around the Blockchain, like, hackers, for the most part, are not that sophisticated. Most hackers, they're simply fishers. They just know how to fish information from people. They're not actually doing things on the back end to, like, actually steal your money. They just know a step-by-step process. And when you go along with it and give them the information they need, they can take everything from you. That's the vast majority of hacking that happens in crypto. It's phishing. We call it hacking because you're hacked. Somebody got access to your funds without permission, but you kind of accidentally left the key under the mat, right?
Right.
So when you're looking at someone stealing money from Bitfinex, from a major exchange, that is a much higher level of hacker. That is a sophisticated, very sophisticated operation. One word that comes to mind when I look at this picture, I don't know, but it's definitely not sophistication. This is not sophistication in my mind. Now, look.
Or are they the greatest masterminds of all time?
Right. Are these Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can? I mean, is that who these people are? No one believes that. She made a TikTok. Okay, she made a TikTok about top things she learned on how to create a good business or something. Okay, and she specifically said in there, she said, "I will tell you, I've spent a lot of time around mega millionaire blockchain entrepreneurs, and this is what I learned." This reminds me of a situation where basically they're in crypto, early, they start rubbing elbows with the wrong people. TJ and I've actually met some of these wrong people, and they don't know that we know that they're wrong people, but we know.
Yeah.
You always had to be aware in crypto who is trying to get involved with you, because there are forces out there trying to push towards darkness. I'll just say it like that. But these people, I think, got in over their heads. I don't think they started out trying to steal billions of dollars. I don't think they had anything to do with the 2017 Bitfinex Act. I believe these people were probably introduced 2019, 2020, somewhere thereabouts. They got in charge of the money laundering, and they're scapegoats. These are your scapegoats. The real people who are behind this, I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever know. Bitfinex supposedly now, full blast working with authorities, well, yeah, obviously they want their money back.
Yeah.
So they're going to push to make this the whole story, because if it is shown that there is a much bigger conspiracy here and there are others behind this, then the money will probably get frozen for a long time, at least, while they sort out that next phase. And Bitfinex doesn't want that. So it's going to be a situation where everybody's pointing at them. And I tell you, they're probably in danger of their lives as well. So if these people are, front people, scapegoats, then most likely the people who are really behind it, they would kill them in a drop of a dime without even thinking twice about it.
Mm-hmm.
These are very dark, probably organized crime. Probably organized crime is involved here, I would say. Maybe not necessarily American organized crime. It could be maybe from somewhere else in the world. But we're going to continue to watch this story, monitor this story. It's the craziest thing we have going on in crypto right now, craziest thing we've seen in crypto since I think the Quadriga CX situation, where that girl or where Gerald Cotton supposedly died of Crohn's disease when he was in India and his body was never sent to the United States, even though no one knew that he actually had Crohn's disease. And then we discovered, that he was trading users' funds on his exchange and all kinds of stuff. So,
a lot of people in the chat saying CIA, government, like this is the way the government gets Bitcoin without having to disclose it. I think, it's going to be wild.
Well, they did disclose it, though.
Well, of course. You mean without having to buy it, there's a way to get it, accumulate, just acquire stolen. I have a feeling this is going to be going on for a while. This case, it's going to be going back and forth. Bitfinex is going to be trying to get it. I think they're going to be trying not to give it to them. So we're going to be watching, just like we've been watching this Bitcoin sit there for the last, then there's also implications too that they could sell it. They could sell the Bitcoin, just dump it on the market. They wouldn't. I mean, but it's a possibility. That's what they've done in the past when they've had seizures of Bitcoin.
Yeah, but
auction it off.
Yeah, you're talking millions, not billions.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that's technically when you see.
Yeah, but I mean, do you honestly think the United States wants to sell Bitcoin right now? Like, do you think they're that dumb?
I have no idea.
No, I don't think so. I don't believe that. Now, several years ago, several years ago, you have to keep in mind that they were also trying to destroy Bitcoin and destroy the confidence in it while they were doing all these seizures and stuff. Now the government knows what's coming. And what better way to fight the battle than from the inside by having a big stake, especially when you didn't even have to pay for it. So fascinating stuff. I could show you guys TikTok videos and Instagram pictures from this girl all day long. It is insane. So Heather Morgan, shout out to Heather Morgan. Heather, if you get out on bail, we would love for you to come on the channel. Your lawyer may not allow it, but she seems like the kind of girl that might represent herself.
Maybe.
4K Ethereum by July. How about that? 4K by July 4th. Is that the new? That's the new. Now look, Cointelegraph said it, not me. 4K by the 4th. ETH price post fastest recovery to date from 50% drawdown. ETH price is bottomed in January following its sharpest rebound to date. Price climbs to 3-week high. Is it going to hit 4K next? Well, if it's above 3, the next big numbers are either, goes back down to 2K or it goes up to 4K. So yeah, 4K could certainly be next. All depends on where, things are going with Bitcoin, in my opinion. Blockchain Backer basically gave you a very interesting synopsis yesterday where he said, hey, we might be in a bear market for Bitcoin, and this may be a relief rally for Bitcoin, and we don't know where it'll top, but this could send the altcoins into the altcoin season we've been waiting on. So that would be very interesting to see. So Ethereum eyes 3.5K. Here's the drawdown from the all-time high. Massive. There it is. Look at those double humps. 2H, is that the second half? Second half of 2022 could be great for ETH. I've never seen anybody say it like that. Have you?
Mm-mm.
If the merge happens on schedule and the market of the asset goes through a huge shift from proof of work to proof of stake, which is going to start happening, Ethereum rival showing compelling case for breakout as it outperforms ETH and Bitcoin. That's from analyst Benjamin Cowan. He is talking about Avalanche moving higher in comparison to Ethereum. We talked about that yesterday. So where were we at here, Daily Huddle? We said it just yesterday. He tells us 709,000 YouTube subscribers. Avalanche has been moving higher. He says there's a chance that it increases against ETH. Has been steadily increasing for quite a while now. If you go back to October 2021, it's been slowly moving higher. Avalanche, definitely a long-term hold in our opinion. Definitely one. I know we talked about it yesterday and the Wonderland stuff. But I do believe that, this is bullish. Avalanche, it seems like maybe it's time for it to go on another run. It's been one of the most predictably rising coins throughout the last year. So definitely something to watch out for. Total supply of the decentralized stablecoin DAI exceeds $10 billion. So there you go. That's interesting stuff. And this story we're going to cover, but, a little bit longer of a segment, but we ended up doing something different. This is Ubisoft, Ubisoft bringing Rabbids to the Sandbox Ethereum metaverse game. If you don't know Rabbids, it's rabbits with a D. It's a franchise. I believe it's on Nintendo Switch. I think it's a Nintendo game, if I remember correctly. Then looks like Gladiator, Russell Crowe. Okay, I'll take it. One of my favorite movies. Who doesn't love Gladiator?
I think everybody loves it.
God, what a great movie.
Yeah.
What made it so great? I don't know. It's hard to put exactly parameters makes it great, but it's one of those movies you start watching it, you're like, oh my gosh, forgot how great this movie is. Okay, Ubisoft will have. How do you say it? Can you actually tell me how you say it?
No,
I don't know what the right way is.
That's the most fun part, because some of the time you might be saying it right, some of the time you might be saying it wrong, but they're both right.
Ubisoft will have virtual land. That's what I'm going to say for now. Ubisoft. We'll have virtual land in the game world that will feature interactive experiences.
Sandbox.
Pretty cool. We love Sandbox. Sandbox.
Yeah, they're crushing it. Big stuff with Snoop Dogg coming out. That's, like he's doing an exclusive album for him, I think.
Yeah.
Big
Snoop Dogg
stuff.
at the halftime show on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how about that? Eminem, Dr. Dre, I think. Maybe Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, cool.
West Coast. Let's get it. Well, Eminem's not West Coast, but he sounds West Coast.
Yeah,
a lot of people would make the argument. But
yeah, we went through that, remember?
we did. No, you're the one that said, you're the person that said it. And I said, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody thinks that of you. We now I remember. Yeah, you're the only person that thought he sounds West Coast. Yeah,
right.
He hangs with the West Coast people. But.
That's what I said. Dre's a West Coast guy, and Dre put him on. So in my mind, he fell in that category.
Yeah, we're not going to rehash that one. I got a lot of comments and messages later.
Oh, I know.
Telling me about how correct I was, including the sister of a very famous rapper who passed away, unfortunately. That's all I'll say. But yeah, so street cred, what can I say? JP Morgan predicts $150,000 Bitcoin. So you can buy this Mika name ring thing. Thank you. Now, I did say we wouldn't do sponsorship, but I didn't say that we would not show Google ads on accident. So a lot of people ask why we don't do the ad blockers. They just make things clunky. And then a lot of times when you're using that ad blocker, it'll make you, a lot of them it's like almost a paywall. They make you show the ad so you can see the article. So it's just not worth dealing with. But, yeah, if you missed that announcement earlier, like I said, special announcement on the channel. We're changing direction on a lot of stuff. One of the things we are going forward, if you missed it, we are no longer going to be doing sponsored content of any kind on the BitBoy Crypto YouTube channel or on the BitBoy Crypto social media accounts. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the whole 9 yards. This channel is now the people's channel. This is the people's channel. That is going to become more apparent over the next couple of months, and you guys are going to be really excited about that stuff. So really excited about that to announce that. And it's a proud moment that we're able to move away from that, run a business that we have here, studio, all the employees we do, and we can move on from that to a different phase. So excited about that. Bitcoin, the largest crypto by market cap, is predicted to reach $150,000 in the long term by American banking giant JP Morgan. Some people say Heather Morgan's uncle or grandpa. This represents a slight increase from last year's target of 146K. How bold to go from 146 to 150. For Bitcoin to reach the aforementioned target, the leading crypto would have to match the private sector in gold, which is $2.7 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap peaked at 1.3 trillion. I thought it was higher than that. Wasn't it like 3 trillion altogether? And Bitcoin was, yeah, I guess that does work out, like 40% of that, somewhere thereabouts. Bitcoin's currently undervalued. At the same time, the bank states, and check out these titles here. JP Morgan predicts Bitcoin could hit 150K. JP Morgan estimates fair value of Bitcoin at 38K. It's the same story, guys. It's the same story. Yeah. Okay. We'll remove that stuff from the corner. We just making the announcement today, but those are not sponsorships. They don't pay to be on this channel. Those are affiliate ads, which we're not going to focus on those. We're still going to have them.
They get you guys discounts.
Basically. Yeah, they give you guys deals on stuff. So the Market Cipher one, you get a discount code when you use, to get 10 or 15% off. If it's beneficial for you guys, if it's beneficial and it's an affiliate deal and it doesn't make sense, we're going to send you somewhere. Why would we not send you? Like, if we're going to send you there anyways, why would we not do that? But you're going to see a lot. We're not going to be focused on any of that at all. So we might bring it up from time to time. But yeah, we will remove those from the bottom corner. We're going to be going really hard on our academy because it is purely educational. It's only $29 a month if you haven't signed up for the BitLab Academy. It's phenomenal, and it's only going to get better. And you're going to find out a lot more about that on the channel over the next several months. It's going to be, we believe, eventually the blockchain course that people hate to get accreditation. It's not accredited right now. We're going to move towards that. We want to get it in colleges and schools. So we're just at the beginning of all this. So, crypto education and helping people. That's what we want to do. That's what we want to focus on. So Bitcoin basically, or JP Morgan says, Bitcoin could rise to a fair value of $50,000 in a scenario where the volatility level narrows to 3 times. The biggest challenge for Bitcoin going forward is its volatility and the boom and bust cycles that hinder further institutional adoption. So, I mean, is this evidence really the statement by them showing their cards a little bit, saying the cycles aren't good for Bitcoin? We don't believe. And we're institutions. We know how to push stuff. So that might hinder further things. So let's move away from that. Maybe that's what we're seeing. I mean, to believe that the institutions did not play a role if that was the top and we don't have another top this year or next year, then I think we can all look squarely at the institutions as the reason. The changing environment in crypto where you have, banks able to create, billion-dollar Bitcoin addresses overnight. And a lot of this selling is done mysteriously to keep prices down so they can accumulate. But it's a different ballgame out there. You need them for the market cap, but you don't want them for the movement of crypto. So, and now you see the manipulation is introduced just like the regular market. So let's talk ADA. 5 million ADA grabbed by top BNB whale. Details. A whopping 5 million ADA were purchased by a top BNB whale. Now, that's a big purchase. That's $6 million, somewhere around there. We'll probably say in here what it is. And if you guys need a workout plan for muscle gain, thank you, Google, for that. If you want to become Fit Boy as well, I see your comments. According to Whale Stats data, Cardano has made a comeback among the top 10 purchased tokens by BSC whales. Comes after a top BNB whale purchased a whopping 5 million ADA. It feels like it's time. You usually see XRP break out and then you see ADA follow closely. They've really tracked along with each other, quite well, especially over the last 6 months or so. This is the transaction. You can see it on Whale Stats. Let's see here. According to Into the Blocks holder composition, 71% have kept their tokens for more than a year. So very interesting stuff. Big Cardano buy here. We got some big stuff going on in the Cardano ecosystem as well. We have Cardax versus Sunday Swap, which is the ultimate Cardano DEX. I think ADAX also is in that in that game there. Sunday Swap launched not too long ago. While the project had unique problems, just like almost everything does when it launches, it's since stabilized. However, it is still not the most ideal DEX on the Cardano network, as it's continuously plagued by congestion issues. This is where Cardax enters the picture, bringing a hitch-free dApp Cardano ecosystem. Is this a press release? Is this an ad?
Probably.
The whole article? It doesn't say. It doesn't say that it is. It sounds like someone who has a lot of money in Cardax posting this. I mean, I don't think necessarily anything they said was inaccurate, but it definitely does seem to have a hitch-free dApp to the Cardano ecosystem. Like, can we really say that yet? Like, how do you know there's not going to be any hitches? We always said Solana in the beginning had no hitches, but look what happened. So, I think it's a little unfair of an expectation when, Sunday Swap has had a lot more volume and has seen some issues with congestion. So, look, we do not believe in selling Cardano. We don't believe in selling ADA. Like, that's a long-term hold for us, for sure. And I think that when it comes to a lot of people unhappy about the price action, understandably so. Like, we're right there with you. We are not giving up on this project, and we do believe ultimately it is going to win. I hope that somebody, this is bold what I'm about to say, I hope that somebody clips this. I believe Cardano is going to beat Solana. That's the statement. That's it. That's the tweet. I believe Cardano is going to outperform Solana. Solana's hot. It's buzzy. We know there's a lot of issues with it as well recently. Cardano's slower in terms of, rolling out. But I do believe firmly that Cardano will be better than Solana. Now, I think the biggest competition for Cardano is Polkadot. I believe it's the biggest competition. So you got other platforms out there, but I kind of see it shaken down like this. I see it shaken down Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche, Elrond, maybe Solana. That's kind of how I see it. So, but those last three interchangeable. You could really put them at any position, and I would believe that. We like Cosmos too, but we've seen the history of Cosmos is to underperform. So you look at all these projects that underperform, some of them can't really break out of that, no matter how good they are. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What actually goes into that? Is it price manipulation that makes the other ones go up? I don't know. But what I'm telling you is, I believe those are probably going to be the six big winners. Cosmos is. I see Cosmos is kind of like Linux. I think Cosmos is going to underlie a lot of stuff. It's going to get a lot of use, but people aren't going to know it as well.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It does.
So, it said James will not agree. Who's James?
Where's that?
It says James will not agree. Bold statement. James will not agree.
I have no idea.
USA loves crypto. This is great. Americans prefer crypto over a traditional savings account. Study shows that's Benjamin Franklin with Bitcoins in his eyes. I don't know if you guys know that. Do you think he was the greatest president we ever had?
I don't know.
Where do you rate him as president, TJ?
I don't.
You don't?
Nope.
You don't know? I mean, do you know which president he was?
No. I know he was early on. Was he even president?
No.
I was gonna say
I set you up for that one, and I pulled you into it.
Yeah.
I got you there, which was really exciting. So, okay. All right. A new study has highlighted the extent of crypto adoption among United States citizens, with various assets becoming the preferred investment choices compared to traditional means. 24% of adults own cryptos as of 2021. How do you feel about the word cryptos?
I hate it.
I don't really like it. Algorand and HBAR, right there as well. I mean, I think Algorand could definitely, left those two out, but those two are definitely in the conversation. I mean, look, Algorand could end up being number 3 or number 4. I just don't think anything's going to beat Polkadot and Cardano. I think there's too much behind them. Solana's got big money. I think the smartest people, Polkadot and Cardano. That's what I believe. The smartest developers, the smartest people behind, the smartest team. That's what I'm not a huge fan of Gavin Wood, but can't question what he's done. 31% own brokerage accounts. Here's what's important about this story. Maybe not be the way I want to say this. The thing that really strikes me about this when I think about Americans in crypto is how we talk about adoption. Do you consider this adoption? Like, would you say that 24% of adults have adopted crypto?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on your term of adoption. Owning it, is that adopting it? Like,
right. I don't think so. I don't consider that to be adoption. Adoption would be if you were using, a Bitcoin Lightning wallet, right? If you're sending transactions, if you are holding Bitcoin on a cold storage wallet, I would say that actually would fit because you've gotten into the process of doing Bitcoin. If you just own Bitcoin through Robinhood and you just bought it, you don't really pay attention to it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that is. I think that we're seeing people curious. We're seeing BTC curious people out there. I think the number of actual adoption is probably less than 2%. That's what I would say. So I think for numbers, for investments and stuff, I think that's good. But I would say there's a whole nother layer to this. And obviously, blockchain, its adoption is going to be, kind of like I consider this channel's growth to be.
Process.
Gradually and then suddenly. That's how I see it working. So,
well,
go ahead.
What I was going to say on adoption, I've always said and feel like true adoption is going to happen when people are using and making crypto transactions and they don't realize it. So another cycle through when it's implemented through Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and regular people are doing transactions and they're blockchain transactions, but the people that are doing them have no idea. That's true adoption to me. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I talked to an old friend of mine last night and showed this person how to use an app to buy it and send it, to actually do the transaction. When you're actually, so I think most people that own crypto on an exchange, I think if you ask them to send you a transaction, they don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
they don't even know how to do that. So it was nice to be able to show this person, how to do that and take, go to the next level with crypto knowledge. Adoption is a quirky thing, and I think we're going to see it. But I think this story here actually is really big for adoption potentially. Now, this is a very vague thing here. New iPhone feature is going to enable Bitcoin tap to pay transactions.
There you go. That's adoption.
This is huge. Yeah. This is adoption. Now, do I want to spend my Bitcoin? Not really. Maybe on my crypto.com card, but not really. I don't want to spend it because it's going to be worth more down the road. However, I do sometimes. But being able to do it and knowing how to do it, I think that's real adoption. Well, guys, fortunately, we do not have time for Q&A today. I've actually got to head to the airport here in 3.5 minutes to go hit up our meetup tomorrow night in LA and Santa Monica. Really excited about that. You guys make sure to check us out on Twitter and check out the pinned post if you are interested in coming. So really excited about it. Can't wait to see you guys there. And that's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.